Hey everybody, today we've got another 2024 matchup. This time it's Senator from New Hampshire, Jeanne Shaheen, up against Senator from Alaska, Lisa Murkowski. This was suggested to me in the comments. Let's get into it. They both have been around a while now. Murkowski probably a little bit more of a household name than Shaheen. I don't expect Shaheen to really excite the progressive voters. I think a lot of them are going to stay home. But at the same time, I don't think Lisa Murkowski is going to excite many of the Trump voters. A lot of them are going to stay home as well. Probably more on the Republican side than on the Democrat side. So that is going to help Shaheen. Now when it comes to voters in the middle, the suburbs, independents, some of them are going to be willing to vote for Lisa Murkowski that were not willing to vote for Donald Trump because Murkowski, she did stand up to Donald Trump. She's portrayed as a little bit more moderate, a little bit more centrist. Some of the voters that did leave the party because of Trump, they would be willing to come back, but I think a bunch of them would just vote for Shaheen at this point. So even if Shaheen loses support from progressives, the Democratic establishment, they're going to be behind her. I don't know who Murkowski is going to turn to. If she's going to try to get the never Trump vote, whatever she gets out of that is going to be offset by her losing support from the base. But I'm assuming both of these two run a serious national campaign. They get their name recognition up enough. So let's quickly go through these states. Let's start in Alaska. Lisa Murkowski is going to win her home state by over 10 points and a safe margin. Hawaii, safe for Shaheen. Back up to the West Coast. Washington, Oregon, California, safe for Shaheen. Nevada, I can't see Murkowski winning this. That's going to go to Shaheen by a lean margin. Idaho and Utah, those are red states and they're going to stay safe for Murkowski. How about Arizona? They like the establishment. Donald Trump was not their brand. So can Lisa Murkowski flip it back? She could, but I think the state has shifted too much to the left. I think too many Trump voters are going to stay home. And even if Murkowski does better in the suburbs with traditional Republican voters, I think Shaheen would win Arizona by a tilt margin. Montana, Wyoming, safe for Murkowski. Colorado, over 10, safe for Shaheen. New Mexico, likely for Shaheen. North Dakota, South Dakota, safe for Murkowski. Nebraska at large, safe for Murkowski. The 2nd District, even though they prefer someone more moderate, I don't think Lisa Murkowski is going to get the job done. This is going to go leans for Shaheen. Kansas and Oklahoma, safe for Shaheen. Texas, I think, could get down to a lean, but I think it would be right at about 5 points, likely for Murkowski. Up to Minnesota, likely for Shaheen. Iowa, probably about 5 to 6 points, likely for Murkowski. Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, safe for Murkowski. Up to Wisconsin, this is going to be leans for Shaheen. Illinois, safe for Shaheen. Michigan, this will crack 5.5 points, likely for Shaheen. Indiana, safe for Murkowski. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, safe for Murkowski. Down to Florida, Murkowski is not a strong Republican. She's not really a great fit for the state. But given what we've seen out of Florida, I still think it would go to Murkowski, probably only by a 1.5 point leans margin. Up to Georgia now. This is similar to Arizona. The Atlanta suburbs, not a Trump fan, so Murkowski could stand to gain from those voters. But the red Trump counties, and there's a lot of them, their turnout is going to be reduced. It's not going to offset the Atlanta suburbs. Shaheen wins Georgia by a couple of point leans margin. South Carolina, safe for Murkowski. North Carolina would get very close. Could go either way. Murkowski is going to be weak here, but I still think she would end up barely winning the state by a tilt margin, probably under a 0.5 point. Let's go to Ohio. This, I think, will get down under likely to about a 4.5 point leans margin. West Virginia, safe for Murkowski. Up to Maine at large. This is going to be barely over 10 points, safe for Shaheen. 1st District, safe for Shaheen. 2nd District, this is the more Trump-friendly district, but there's no Donald Trump here, so it's going to become much, much closer. A lot of those Republican voters are going to stay home. Some of them are going to vote for Murkowski, and eventually I think she would win it by a tilt margin. Now we've got Jeanne Shaheen's home state of New Hampshire. I think this could just hit about 10 to 11 points, so we're going to put it at safe for Shaheen. Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., safe for Shaheen. Pennsylvania, that's going to be another one that goes leans for Shaheen. I would say at least 3 to 4 points. Last state, Virginia, that's going to be likely for Shaheen. So the final map is 303 for Jeanne Shaheen, 235 for Lisa Murkowski. I don't think Jeanne Shaheen is some super strong candidate. I don't think she would excite many voters. I don't think she would excite the base. She's a little bit older. She's not from a swing state with a lot of electoral votes. Those are some things working against Jeanne Shaheen. But Lisa Murkowski, she's from Alaska. That state's not going to help her much in this election. She's already damaged her brand with Trump voters. There's going to be a clear reduction in turnout from them. So it really comes down to a lot of voters in the middle and independents. I think they would end up breaking toward Jeanne Shaheen. Lisa Murkowski would do about 2 to 3 points worse across most of these states than a better Republican candidate. It's hard to say if she would tout her anti-Trump credentials to try to court voters that might be in the middle or get Republican-leaning independents to turn out. I don't think it's going to be enough. Shaheen is not really going to be that exciting. This would be a low-turnout election. Of course, the issues at the time, the national environment, all that could play a role. It could swing some of these states, but trying to look at it down the middle, it's hard to see how Murkowski could pull out a win here. She might even do worse than this. Texas could get down to a lean. Iowa could get down to a lean. North Carolina could flip. Those are some possibilities. So your map is probably going to look different. You're going to focus on some different things. This is what I came up with, and let me know in the comments. Do you agree with this map, or did I get it all wrong and Jeanne Shaheen would flop hard while Lisa Murkowski dominates the map? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.